Hello, Flosstube. Stephanie here, Ms. Oh So Crafty. Today is Sunday, December 31st, 2017. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back. Hello if you're new. What I'm going to do this evening is talk about December, give you an update on my December activities, and also share my Christmas stitchy stuff and a few other handcrafted decorations. So it's New Year's Eve and we went out for an early dinner, and I had this cocktail that was, bracing is probably the word. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Why not film Flosstube? Okay, so I guess we'll start with the stitching. So last time I filmed, it was the end of November, I think November 30th, if memory serves, and I'm sorry that it's been that long, but December was just crazy. There was so much going on. I was really busy with framing and sewing and just all sorts of stuff, and social engagements and baking and shopping and gift wrapping, and then we traveled and I got sick and stuff, and I'm still a little bit sick, but it's not that big of a deal. It's just like a low-level sinus thing, so whatever. So let's get into the stitching. And I warn you, I did not stitch a whole heck of a lot in December. If you added up all the days I stitched, you might get like 10 days out of 31. But I did do a lot of other things like framing, and you'll see some of that stuff when I insert the Christmas clips. So, all right, let's get started. Okay, December started and I had a bee in my bonnet to finish Titania, which I did, December 4th. So here she is. She is stitched on 32 count Sparkling Sundown Lugana Opalescent from Vintage Silkweaver. And it took 32 days total. There's a lot of Kreinik in her, mostly in the wings. So this pink stuff is like a number 4 braid, and then the filler pattern, the silver, is blending filament, and then of course the beads. There's treasures. I did a substitution on the treasure just because I didn't fancy spending, the money for the Mill Hill ones when I could get these for like 10 cents each, so I did. And I don't know if the color is the right, conversion. These are like light amethyst AB, but they look fantastic on the piece, so I'm satisfied. Right, so these are Preciosa flower beads, 5mm, I think. These are the right size to sub for the Mill Hill margaritas, FYI. So, yeah, 32 days total. And, it's a fun project to stitch. The skirt is huge, though. It just seems like it goes on forever. And the wings. The wings are very tall, but they're majestic. I love the sense of movement in there. It almost looks like, they're fluttering. And I love her face, her expression. I think she has one of the prettiest faces of all the Mirabilia patterns. I love her little beaded shoulder straps. I think those are so cute. And how she's resting her chin on her hands, very pensive. I'm super happy to have Titania done. She'll make a lovely pair with Midsummer Night Fairy. I actually picked out a frame that I think will work for both of them, but I'm going to wait a little bit because it's kind of a pricey endeavor, so I'll see when it goes on sale. Yeah, Titania by Mirabilia. This fabric, though, this 32 oval Lugana, not my cup of tea. It's just, it was difficult to count, difficult to stitch on. It's almost like too dense, I think. But, I made it through, and I think it's perfect now that she's done. It's like a light sort of peachy color. It looks a bit desaturated here, but you kind of get the idea, so. Titania, my pink princess, the queen of the fairies. I think if there's anything else I should say about her, I don't know. I'll just mention again about her face. She just really does have the most beautiful face. Look at that. And, I stitched the skin 2/2, as I always do. That's my practice. I mean, in my opinion, the 1/1 thing, it's just not worth the time involved, and you generally don't look at your cross stitch from 6 inches away. You look at it from 3 to 5 feet away on the wall. So when you do that, the 2/2 looks perfectly fine. So, yep. Titania. So the other things that I stitched in December include Winnie the Pooh. I gave him like a good, I don't know, 3 days, 4 days. I was also like framing at the same time, so it took a bit longer to get the progress that I wanted. So I did around, I don't know, 2,000 stitches. So a couple columns over here, and then like half of another column. This cutout here is where the owl will be, and that's all done 1/1. So I'll get to that next year. So this is my final, I mean today's December 31st, obviously, so this is my final update on Winnie the Pooh for this year, and it's, you know, like 40% done, 45% maybe. I started in April after several false starts. So this is a pattern by MCG Textiles, and I substituted DMC for the fibers in the kit. I also substituted some Charles Craft Monaco for whatever MCG not so even weave that was included in the kit. I tried it. Did not work. So unless you fancy your X being a tall rectangle. Yeah, so this is coming along. I do really like it. Most of the character detail is on the bottom half. So I'll get into that next year. There's like another 2 columns, I think, over here to do. So I'll probably get into the second half or the lower half rather, in February, which is actually my son's birthday month. He'll be turning 4. And if I keep up the current pace, I'll finish it around the time he turns 5. So I just do like 1,800 stitches a month for the most part. That's enough. I don't really want to work on this all the time, you know. But it's definitely coming along, and it's cute, you know. Pooh with his blue balloon rising up to the tree to get the honey from the beehive. And the swarm of the bees is over here. That was done 1/1. So my big Christmas gift was actually a art magnifier light type thing that I haven't actually tried yet. We traveled right after Christmas, and yeah, well, it'll definitely come in handy when I stitch the owl. That 1/1 section is quite extensive. I mean, it's like a couple hundred stitches easy. And I'll be using a thimble when I do it, because when I stitch the bees, the 1/1 over here, it actually injured my finger a little bit just from pushing the needle through. It was so dense. Yeah, so I'll definitely be using a thimble. That's Winnie the Pooh. And then another project that I worked on for like a weekend or long weekend or whatever is King Arthur's Court by DMC. This is stitched on 32 count antique white Jovelin. Excuse me. Okay, so here is my current progress. What I did basically was work on this page up here, the upper left. I worked the border up, did this crown type thing in the corner, and then I worked on the letter K, which actually includes some metallic fiber. You see the sparkle in there? That's Trynic 002 HL, number 4 braid, and I put a little bit over here in the moon. There's actually a ton of Trynic to be stitched in this piece, so figured it wouldn't hurt to start it. And then I did some of this wallpaper pattern. These little squares are going to be connected with like long stitches. And I worked on Merlin a little bit. I did most of his hat and his little scepter up over there. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to work on this a lot more this month, but like I said, I just didn't get that much stitchy time, so, you know, it'll be carried over to next year. It's definitely coming along, though, and I really love it. I'm hoping to finish it, like, before Mania, you know? It would be really nice to get this out of my active whip rotation, you know? And I'm hoping that the rest of it might be a little bit faster, quicker to do. We'll see. But I haven't done any of the back stitching yet. And there's not like a ton of back stitching, but there is a fair amount. Like the dragon, for example, has to be back stitched, and there's a lot of gold metallic that has to go through in here, like a vine, sort of like a winding vine. And I think this empty area here is all gold metallic. That scepter that Merlin is holding. And, yeah, King Arthur's Court. I love it. It's definitely taken longer than I expected. I think I totaled up the days, and I'm pretty sure I worked on it like 30 days so far this year. Obviously, that was not enough time to finish. But it's so, you know, it's big and it's beautiful, and it's worth the time. I don't really have a problem with carrying it over. And then I worked on the Maiden the Unicorn. She was a finished goal for this month. This is the pattern by Vermilion. Here's where she is right now. So I worked on her like 30 days or so far this year, and again, not quite enough to finish. I mean, I got really close. Basically, all that's left is there's more back stitching to do, like on her upper body and her face and the flag. And there's a little like blue feather that's going to be stitched on the top of her headpiece, so that has to be done. A lot of the back stitching is done with the blending filament. You see the harness on the horse, how that's done with blending filament. It's back stitched with filament, it's stitched with filament. Her belt is backstitched with filament. I don't think it's quite done yet, though. I just did like one side of it. And the backstitching instructions are extensive. There's like, I don't know, 12 or 15 different instructions for backstitching with different colors of DMC and the filament and all that. So I do love how the flag turned out. Isn't that pretty with the sparkle and everything? It almost looks like it's, you know, waving in the wind. And the borders, of course, look great. Those are all fully backstitched and all done and everything. With the griffin over, well, you can see this one better. The griffin. And there's a ton of thread parked on here, which obviously I need to clean up. So I've allotted, I think, 5 days in my January rotation for this, so I will try to finish her up at that point. I think 5 days will be enough to do it. Maybe just like 2 or 3, so we'll see. It needs beading too, but the beads aren't extensive. I think there's 2 colors of beads, but they're not like everywhere. They're just sort of in select areas, like they go around the mirror, and there's some on her headpiece and stuff like that, but the beading shouldn't be that big of a deal. And this is stitched on 36 count antique white linen. It's just some fabric that I got like off eBay or something, and it's not like the nicest linen out there. But you know, it works. The Maiden and the Unicorn, almost done. I backstitched one of her eyes. Oops. And see the one that's backstitched. I feel like since this fabric is so small, the 36 count, you can't even really see some of the detail. Like her eyelashes and stuff, they just kind of disappear because the stitches are so small. But she's definitely very pretty regardless. If I could do this over again, I would choose 28 count for sure. Okay, I have one more stitchy project to show you. I'll just use my hand. This is small enough. It's a little Mill Hill orney. A wagon. Oh, let me see if I can fix this little bear charm thing. There we go. Yeah, so I got this little kit at Needlecraft Corner when I went there for their Christmas party, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. It was clearance, so it was only like $3.50 or something. Good price. So the pattern is charted. It had like basically some chicken scratch on the side of the wagon. You know how wagons are supposed to say radio flyer or whatever. I guess they didn't want to actually write that out for like copyright or whatever, so I just put my son's name there. And it was kind of fun, like charting it to go up on the angle like that, but I think it worked out. I have to put a hanger on it though and backing. The back is, you know, yeah. This is one of those stacked ornaments, so I stitched the little present thing separately and then sewed it on top. Lots of beads on here, like black and white and red and green and gold or something, yeah. And of course the little teddy bear charm is very cute. I'm pleased with how that turned out. Once I back it, I'll probably write like 2017 on the back or something on the felt. And the bow on the present, that was done with like 5 bead loops. 8 of them precisely. So there's actually like 40 beads right here. Yeah, I started this on December 10th and I finished it just like yesterday, so that was cool. Alright, that was it for my stitching. I think what I'll do now is I'll insert the footage that I took of my stitchy Christmas stuff. Decorations and all. See you in a bit. Hi, so I wanted to share some of my handcrafted holiday decor. We're in my kitchen right now. This is the advent calendar that I sewed around, I don't know, 4 years ago or so. It was from a panel by Make Our UK, if memory serves. So basically it's just like a big panel and then you cut out the pockets and you fold them and sew them down and then you do the backing and binding and quilt it together. So I didn't want, you know, visible quilting on this because, you know, such a pretty design and everything. So what I did is I just tied it in different places throughout using embroidery floss to match the design on the front. You can actually see it on the back. See the little, that's the tying with the little dark bits. And what I like about this is that the position of the numbered pockets is all mixed up, and I think that's fun because, you know, when you're hunting for your advent chocolate, you know, make it interesting, right? And this piece also has a bit of like gold iridescence and like the stars and stuff, and I just really like it. It's a lot of fun to hang up every year, and the pockets are pretty decent size. I like to put Dove Promises in there. You could also do like Hershey Kisses or whatever, you know. And then the other thing I have in the kitchen is, so here is the 12 Days of Christmas by Joan Elliott. I stitched this in 2017. It took a while. Like I worked on it several days every month and then finally finished it December 26th of last year. I framed it in this bright gold frame. I'll get a bit closer. The frame has like a beaded inner edge and it has a little concave scoop up to the outer edge, and that is, the scoop is distressed, giving it a darker appearance, kind of like a honey color, and then the outer edge is prominent. It has like a bright gold pattern on it, on a deeper, like almost slightly green patina. So what I did with this is I ordered the frame size very precisely
counting the rabbit depth, which is like the lip that holds the piece inside the frame, so that the edge of the frame would abut the stitching. The problem is I didn't account for the fact that once I laced it, stretched it, all that, the piece would be slightly larger. So the frame actually hides a little bit of the stitching, like especially in the corners, but I decided that it was not a deal breaker, so I'm happy with how it turned out, and I even found a piece of glass in my stash to fit. That was cool. Alright, see you in another area. Okay, welcome to my dining room. Dark red. So these, well, the reindeer are two of the pieces I framed this year. Well, 4 technically. And then there's Royal Holiday in the middle there. I stitched her a long time ago. Get a little bit closer. Sorry for the glare. Okay, here's Royal Holiday. She's stitched on Evergreen Opalescent Belfast Vintage Silk Weaver. And then the reindeer, Donner, Dasher. And over here we have Dancer and Blitzen. So all these were framed by me. With Royal Holiday, she's got a really beautiful, sorry the light's not so great in here, but if I turn, okay, I turned the light on, so the glare is going to be kind of atrocious, but you can see the frame better. So this is like a bright gold frame, very detailed, very regal looking, pretty large, but you know, she's a big piece and everything. And then for the reindeer, I chose a wood, like espresso finish. It has a raised edge right here, and a scoop. It's slightly distressed with like some subtle like gold metallic finishing. And then I cut a double mat. I mean, not a double mat, a mat with 2 apertures. Right? So this one is, I mean, it's not exactly complete yet because I don't have glass in it yet, and I don't have a backing on it. So the mount is a little bit loosey-goosey, like up there, yeah, but it's good enough for now until I get the glass. And then same deal over here, mat with 2 apertures, same frame. Yeah, so what I normally do in this space is I have the Morning Dew panels, which is like a large centerpiece, and then 2 side panels, and then I wanted, you know, to switch it out for Christmas. Alright, moving on. Hey Flosstube, wanted to show you my Christmas tree. Sorry for the weird late thing. Anyway, well, the tree skirt underneath is stitched, and the little snowflake bunting is also, well, I sewed it. I cut it out, sewed it, and put little sparkles, flat bottom, faceted silver gems on it to make it sparkle on both sides. So I'll get a bit closer and show you the ornaments, at least the ones that are stitched. This is one I did this year from a Just Cross Stitch magazine. I really love this so much. It's mostly back stitch, and there's some gold beads on there, and the tassel, and the cording, and I just love it. The back of it is like this little Christmas print. There's a piece of mat board in there for structure. Here's another one of mine. This is for the Mill Hill Angel, one of the trilogy. She's really pretty with her trumpet. Let's see, over here is the Noel Biscornu, tiny little thing that I did this year. First Biscornu, turned out pretty cute. And let's see, here's one that was done by my husband's great aunt Nadine. This is really beautiful. It's like hardanger with gold lame in the openings, and then some satin stitch in the center there. Here's one of my felt applique. This is a Piglet, obviously, with a wreath and a bow. He came out really cute. Did him last year, I think. Here's one of mine. Oliver's first Christmas 2014 with a train. I did this, I guess it was last year, and I backdated it, of course. Here's one of mine, another one of the Angel trilogy with the lute, I guess. She's really pretty, very sparkly. Here's one of Nadine's. This is like specialty stitching, mounted on felt. It's really pretty. Everything is coming out too dark here, but it's like bright red and dark green, and it's really nice. Let's see what else. Well, I'll show you my son's favorite ornament this year. Yeah, it moves. Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. Oh, here's my Hardanger learning piece with the gold metallic and the beads in the middle. I like how that looks on the tree. Let's see, what else? This is one I did. Be Merry, chalkboard orney. And here's another one of Nadine's. I love this one. I think it's so pretty. This side of the tree faces the window, so we've got a bit better light over here. Here is another one of the trilogy, the Angel trilogy from Mill Hill that I stitched. Here's one of my felt applique, Winnie the Pooh, putting the star on the tree. Did that last year. Here's another chalkboard orney. Be Jolly. Love how those turned out. I need to do more chalkboard orneys this coming year, or at some point in the future. This is made by me. It's a felt applique type thing, pattern from Alicia Paulson. Posy Gets Cozy. I think that turned out really cute. And it's part of a series. There's like 3 patterns in the pack, and I only did this one. I had the one of the other ones in progress, but I guess it's a UFO. I need to finish this someday. This is one of the ones I got this year. It says 2017 from Hallmark. Isn't that cool? It's metal. It has little sparkles on it. I like that one a lot. And I think that might be it for the handmade ones. Well, there's this one that my son made. It's like a little hard gingerbread man. He made that in school, preschool. Yeah, I guess that's about it for the handmade ornies. Over here is the mantle. Let me turn the camera. So that ornament wreath is, well, I made it this year. Reused most of the ornaments and some new ones. My old ornament wreath sort of disintegrated. The hot glue kind of broke down over time. It was strung on wire. This is different. This is a styrofoam base, and the ornaments are actually stuck into it and glued down, so I hope that that will be a little sturdier. Reuse the bow that I made with this like ornament print on it. I think that's really cute. And let's see, the Noel letters, I painted those. They're like red sparkle glitter paint, whatever. They need a little bit of touch up. They've gotten a little dinged up over the years. Over here is my favorite decoration, the gingerbread house that I painted. It was a ceramic bisque piece that I picked up at Michael's after I saw something kind of similar at a Christmas show. They wanted like $100 for it, so yeah, I didn't buy that. Instead, I got the ceramic bisque from Michael's and like painted it myself with around 20-30 colors, tiny paintbrushes. I did it when I was pregnant, and it was a crazy project. You can put a little light inside and make it glow. That's pretty too. It doesn't have a light in it right now, but I love this. It's hard to tell with the I mean, you can see the sparkle on the brown. You can't really see the sparkle on the white too much. The white is all sparkly too, like snow. Yep. That was fun. I do want to do more ceramic pieces at some point, but it's just, it takes so long, you know, and it's such detailed work. I think I need to wait till my son's a bit older. All right, that's it for the mantle. Okay, maybe you wanted to see my tree skirt. Yeah, I stitched that. It's on 11 count Aida. It says ingredients for a Merry Christmas: grace, giving, family, wishes, friends, memories, warmth, sweets. It's got tons of like festive motifs on it. It's a big project, obviously. Took a while to stitch. I finished it by appliquing the Aida to some red velvet, backed it with Kona cotton, a dark green, although it looks black in this light, and then the gold fringe, which happily hides a lot of like little errors, so that's cool. Yeah, so I really like this tree skirt, and I'm actually thinking about doing another one if we put up a second tree next year. You can actually see a little peek of a stocking over there. I'm not going to show you the stockings today because they're kind of dirty right now. They need to be cleaned and everything. I'll show them to you next year. Bye. I have my 'Twas the Night Before Christmas piece. Sorry for the glare. Really like this piece. It's an old one. It's on Aida. It was a kit and everything. I love Santa's list with the Dear Santa written upside down. And the sparkle thread and the stars and the silhouette. That's cool. I love that poem. Alright, moving along. Here is The Christmas Angel by Joan Elliott. This is stitched on, I think it's an opalescent. Yeah, it's opalescent, and it's like a light gray, you know, variegated. And so this, one of my favorite pieces. I framed her with a green suede mat and a gold metallic inner mat. And then this frame is like gray with a bit of gold detailing. Very subtle beaded edge, and I don't know why my camera's not focusing. Not enough light in here, sorry. But I really love this piece. I just think she's so gorgeous and elegant. I love her halo, I love her wings, even though every single feather was backstitched with silver Karnak. Yeah. Really pretty angel. Every time I see her, she makes me smile. Over here I have Celtic Christmas. No glass on her yet either. I framed her this year, and I stitched her on 28 count cream casual last year, and I mounted her with a red suede mat and a green inner mat. And then this frame is just beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's like this bright light gold with a beaded inner edge and some detailing on like an oxidized patina on the outside, and the interior scoop almost has like a luminescence to it. It's gorgeous. It makes me think of like heavenly light. Unfortunately, I did not do such a good framing job on this. I was running out of blades for my mat cutter, and I just didn't have a sharp enough blade to get that inner mat done properly, so I'm probably going to redo it. It doesn't have glass on it yet. It's not fully finished, so I can do that. Okay, so here is my Lizzie Kate Merry Christmas Violet letter piece. Sorry for the glare. This is stitched on raw linen by MCG Textiles. I matted it with white and put a like evergreen frame on it. Sort of a farmhouse style. Classic, whatever. I really like like this piece. It's great for the space, you know, tall and narrow, and it's actually right next to my thermostat, so in the foyer of my house. I like it a lot. Okay, that's about it for my Christmas cross stitch. I do have my diamond painting, but that's downstairs. Okay, see you back in the main video.
Hello again. Do you like haul? Because I have a lot. Some of it was gifts. Most of it was gifts, actually. So I'll start with the gift. This was sent to me by the lovely sisters Olivia and Elena. Thank you so much. You guys are the sweetest. I can't believe like how generous they were with the stitchy Christmas and everything. They really embody the Christmas spirit, and we're so fortunate to have them as part of our Flosstube community. Yeah, so this is the Beringer Winery in St. Helena, California. I've actually been there. It was a wonderful place to visit. I mean, just gorgeous, historical, beautiful, you know, winery, and the wine was good too. Did like a tasting and stuff there. Spent a few hours. If you ever get a chance to visit, I highly recommend it. So, I look forward to stitching that one day. And then I did place an order like at the end of November, you know, like Black Friday and all that. I actually placed a couple orders. One of them is for fabric that hasn't come in, but I did order this from Everything Cross Stitch. This is Happy Thanksgiving by Sue Hillis Designs. This is Happy Thanksgiving and Save Room for Pie. This is perfect for me because pie is probably my favorite part of the Thanksgiving dinner, you know? What can I say? I have a sweet tooth. So, yeah, I really like this. I like how it has the Native Americans and the European settlers, so that's cool. Happy Thanksgiving. And then I got this one, The Lord's Blessing by Imaginating. Diane Arthurs. Give thanks for family, friends, and the Lord's blessing. I love this, and I think it's out of print, but Everything Cross Stitch had it, and the, you know, regular price and everything. Nothing crazy, so that was cool. Really like that. And I got this one, Peter Pumpkin by Imaginating, Ursula Michaels. I think that is so cute. The little pumpkin smoking the pipe with a crazy witch hat, and the spiders dangling, and the little bats, and the greenery and all that. Fun, fun, fun. I think my son would love this one. And I got this one, Happy Halloween, Imaginating Ursula Michael, Haunted Halloween House. I think that is really cute. It's spooky Halloween, but not too scary. The ghost is smiling. It's like a friendly type thing. I think that's really nice. I don't know if I'd stitch it on white, though. Maybe like gray or something, but I think that's really, really fun. And then I got this one. It's The Most Wonderful Time of the Year by Sue Hillis. I love this. This is actually, this song, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, is one of my favorite Christmas songs. So, yeah. And this would be so fast to stitch up, I think. You know, typography goes quick. And it's got the little, like, stars and the Santa hat and the candy and everything. Cute. Very cute. This is actually part of a series. There's The Most Wonderful Fright and The Most Wonderful Feast or something for Thanksgiving. So in early, not November, December, I went to a Christmas party at Needlecraft Corner with my friend Sumira. Hi Sumira, if you're watching. So I got, well, a bunch of stuff there, but this was actually a gift. Like I won it from a raffle. Christmas Memories by Just Nan. And it's a full kit with the fabric and the floss and everything. So, very generous gift. I think it's really nice. It's like a sampler with some specialty stitches, I think. That's really pretty. I've never stitched anything by Just Nan before, but I do really like this design, and since I have everything for it, I probably will stitch it one of these days. And then I got this there, Blackberry Lane's Let It Snow. The button package is like covering the design. I'll take that out. There we go. Let It Snow, little snowman. I thought that was really cute. Blackberry Lane design. And it came with the button pack. This was on sale too for like $6, so half price. This was a, well, this was a freebie. This was like a favor, party favor kind of, and it's a little design that says, well, here's the fabric. Isn't this pretty? It's like a mint green and it's opalescent. It looks a bit lighter here than it really is. It came with this little button. Isn't that cute? Some DMC. And the pattern says, well, it's from Little Ridge Designs, and it says, when Christmas Day has gone with the rest, may you say to yourself, this has been the best. It's a really cute little thing. Sweet sentiment. I don't know if I would say this Christmas was the best, but it was pretty special with my son being like 3 years old and everything. Like, this was the first year he was really into Santa and Christmas and everything, and seeing Christmas through the eyes of a 3-year-old is pretty special, I must say. This one, the Needlecraft Corner, the Toyland sleigh. I actually have one of the, I think I have a vintage one in my stash already, and this one is pretty cute. I like the little teddy bear charm in the corner there. I really like all of the sleighs, actually. You can actually see them there. So the celestial sleigh, the blue one on the far side, I like that one a lot. The vintage one next to it is one I already have. I might actually get all of these eventually. Yeah, I was thinking I might actually start this in December, but I decided to do this one instead. And it's for my son and everything, so I'm glad I decided to go in that direction. And then on the way back home to the Northern Virginia area, we went to another store, the Stitching Post in Catonsville, Maryland, which is like a Baltimore suburb, and I got this fabric there. This is dirty linen, I think. Bell pull cut. This is for one of my January starts. Yeah, 32 count dirty linen. And the cost was quite reasonable. It was like $8.36, so not bad for the bell pull cut. This was a freebie. It's like a measuring square. So it's like 4 inches in either direction. So you can you can place this in your, corner of your fabric. If you want 4 inches in both directions, use the whole square. If you want less, you can use the tick marks. So that's nice. A little bit less fiddly than using a measuring tape, which is what I usually do. I got this little tin at Needlecraft Corner. This was also like a party favor. It says Warmest Wishes, and it had some candy in it, which has long been consumed. This little needle case, it actually has a needle inside. I like this, how it's so like small and compact and well contained and everything. And this is like some beeswax, natural beeswax or something that you could use to condition your thread, which is not really my thing. I've never used like Thread Heaven or anything. I've never really seen the need, so I don't know. Maybe I'll use it one of these days, maybe not. We'll see. And that brings me up to my Christmas haul. So my husband was very generous, and I'm just gonna show you all stuff. So, this is a bead pack for the Portrait of Veronica, which is a pattern in my stash. Look at those gorgeous colors. Oh my gosh, these are like my favorite colors. It's gonna be so much fun to stitch her. And then a bunch of stuff from Glendon Plays. This is Ghoul School. Glendon Plays, Cheryl A. Granda. I think this is so cute. I actually saw it being stitched at a retreat. I don't remember the name of didn't stitch her, sorry, but her whip looked pretty awesome, and I guess she enabled me. And then there's this one, the Renaissance Mermaid by Mirabilia. At first when I saw this come out, I was like, oh, I could stitch it. I could skip it, you know? I wasn't really all that crazy about it, but then I started to see it being stitched on Facebook and the close-ups of her face and everything, and she has a really beautiful face, and I really love her. She's very pretty, so I do want to stitch her. Maybe after I finish my current mermaid whip, which is the Enchanted Mermaid. This is another Glendon Place, Witching It Was Halloween. I think that's really cute, although I don't like the mouse. I don't know. I might have to do something with the mouse. Change it or something, I don't know. For one thing, the mouse is like, the scale is all wrong. Like the mouse is like almost as tall as her face. If you had a mouse like as tall as your face, that would be like a problem, you know? Yeah, I mean, I think it would be better if she had like a cat or something on her, so I don't know. I might see if I can swap in something for that. Here is Monster Mash by Glendon Place, Cheryl A. Granda. I love this. You can do it in the colors or grayscale. That's pretty cool. This one is by Debbie Patrick. It's called Kimberly Crest. I think I was enabled by Allie Stitching Studio. Pretty sure she was the one who stitched this, and it looks like three-dimensional when it's stitched. It's really cool the way the shading is done and the back stitching and everything. This is a really cool chart, so I can't wait to stitch this one of these days. Here's a little kit, The Palace Theater by Mill Hill, Christmas Village. Though, I don't know if I mentioned this before. I probably did, but when I last worked on my Christmas Village, I was going to put the sleighing scene in there next to the bookseller, and I couldn't because I started to stitch it, and I realized the scale was weird. Like the horse was in the foreground, and the horse was going to be right next to the bookseller, and it was going to come up to like the second story of the building, and it looked weird. So I had to retool my plans a little bit, and this is part of that. So I'm going to be doing the Palace Theater on the bottom row. I think that's really pretty. Look at those colors. They're so like sophisticated and sumptuous and good winter colors. That will be fun to stitch. And then the big kit. Look at this. Spring Fairy Dimensions Gold Collection. Miki. I hope I pronounced her name right. Yeah, I think she has this one and she's looking forward to starting it or something. The Blue Stitchy Corner of Flosstube, her channel. And I think she is just lovely. The artwork is by Ruth Sanderson, and this is, well, I mean, it's adapted from her art. And this is part of the same series of the Woodland Enchantress, which I finished and have framed and hanging, and the Fall Fairy, which is on the go, and then this one, the Spring Fairy.
Hey!
Hey, we have a little visitor. You want to say hi?
Hi!
Come up here. You say hi?
Hey!
Hi!
Yeah!
You want to go back and spend some time with Daddy? Hang on a second. Okay, I'm back. Where was I? Spring Fairy. Yeah, so I have to stitch her eventually, you know. She's part of the series that I'm working on, so I love her, and I like the waterfall in the background and the white swan, and her wings are beautiful, and the little flute that she's playing. Yeah, that'll be a fun thing to stitch. And there was a little bit of fabric in that Christmas haul. So this is a bell pull cut of 100% hand cloth, as sold by Stony Creek, and this is so much nicer than the MCG Textiles acrylic hand cloth that I used for my summer bell pull that I finished earlier this year. I mean, let's see if I can get close and you can see what it looks like. So it's 18 count, and my biggest complaint about the MCG Textiles one was that it was just too flimsy. It was very easy to like slip your stitch. But this seems to have more body to it, and I don't think it would be a problem to stitch on this one. So, of course, I have to try it, but it just has a much nicer feel to it compared to the acrylic one, which, you know, isn't really a surprise. To me, natural fibers are always going to feel better than the synthetic stuff. And then this one is aged ecru, 28 count. It's just like a slightly variegated ecru, which isn't really coming out too well in the video, but you know, it's just something. It's off-white and it's got a little bit of like interest to it. It's kind of like an aged parchment or something. I'm planning to use this for one of my January starts, and I believe that it's Monaco, although it wasn't really labeled that way. It was just labeled as 28 count fabric, but it feels like Monaco, looks like Monaco, so that will be fine. And then the final part of my Christmas haul was some hand-dyed threads. This is simply Shaker Gentle Arts Tomato. This one is Weeks Dye Work Guacamole. Here we have Weeks Havana, Weeks Dye Works Carrot, Weeks Dye Works Taffeta. So these are all for, sorry for the shaking, I hit the computer. Yeah, so those are all for one of my January starts, and I'm not going to talk about that now because I'll get into that when I do my, sorry for the noise, when I do my 2017 wrap-up video and 2018 plans, which I think I'm going to film tomorrow. Okay, this would be a really good time to wrap it up since my son is running around playing hide and seek or something. So have a happy new year, everyone. Happy stitching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for commenting. You guys are just wonderful, and I'm very happy to be part of this community. So I will see you soon. Bye.